Perhaps your parents never paid much attention to you, and now you're a people pleaser. Marluxia, Zigbar, oh, daddy, Zemnis, daddy! Alright, so, here's the deal. Here's the deal. That thing that has happened before, where, I, like, tried to take a break from making videos specifically, to try and, you know, rest and refresh and come back stronger. That just got me out of practice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another one of these videos where I record myself taking some of those personality quizzes, and then I just draw my persona in what is essentially cosplay, just according to the results that I get. This amazing digital circus one I think I want to start with. Also, I woke up rather recently, and I'm still drinking my daily allotment of caffeine, so I'm still a little out of it. But maybe that'll make for better content. We'll see. All right. Let's get this show on the road. In a situation that you are threatened, what is your immediate response? Okay, well, based on that reaction, maybe freeze is accurate. Okay, like, I know that it's so lame for these sorts of questions to be like, it depends, but it really does. I guess flight usually is probably the best. What types of colors do you prefer? Muted, dull colors, bright, saturated colors, dark colors, pastel colors? If we're talking about colors in general, just like what colors make me like the happiest to look at and which colors I like to use the most, bright and saturated colors. I really have been trying to also incorporate more of that into my my clothes, because I am a person who wants to wear more colors. It's just that black, it works with everything and always looks cool. It's not my fault that that's just science. Would you consider yourself emotionally stable? Yeah, I'll go with surprisingly so, considering what I'm going through. I think that even in times where I feel like I'm kind of going through quite a rapid swing, like even yesterday, I was very depressed and anxious out of nowhere, but like when those moments happen now, I think I'm good at like recognizing that and managing it, and I think that that is something important to consider when we're talking about like emotionally stable, if I'm going to take this question like as seriously as possible. So I'll go surprisingly so. Like I'm not all good, I don't think, but I mean I've weathered quite a few storms, and I'm pretty proud of where I am, all things considered. Your friend seems incredibly upset and starts crying in front of you. What do you do? Try to console them the best I can, sit there awkwardly trying to figure out what to do, crack jokes. I am the crying friend. Well, just all of those suck except for this one. For me, it's okay if you don't know how to respond to people when they're crying, because that's kind of a lot, but I'm not usually that way. Extrovert. Oh, yep, I'm an extrovert. Don't even have to read the other questions. Also, I am a person that doesn't believe that ambiverts exist. And is that a weird response? That is a weird thought to have. I don't think I've ever met an ambivert who like has described their experience and I've not been able to be like, you just described being an extrovert or an introvert. Like, maybe that has more to do with ambivert is a real thing, and there are people that would fall into such a category because having a binary system, trust me, honey, I know. There's limits to what that can cover, but I'm just saying it could definitely speak to maybe a misunderstanding in the general populace what that word actually means, but it's not, you know. How easily I'm scared by anything. That is, yeah. I will say, I think it's less that I'm easily scared and more easily startled. Like, I jump at the fucking littlest things. Are you good at hiding your emotions? Yes, it's concerning how well I can hide them. Yes, except when I'm super freaked out. Somewhat, I'm really bad at it. No, not at all. Everyone can tell how I'm feeling. There's not really any emotions for me to hide. Well, that one's just sad at the bottom. But what I will say, I would say somewhat. If I am making a conscious effort to not be emotive, I'm a very emotive person naturally. I like making facial expressions to convey the feelings that I am experiencing, and my body language also says a lot. I'm a very outwardly emotional person. However, there are times, of course, where I'm kind of trying to just keep it in. Now, if I'm like really nervous, it's probably very obvious to literally anyone around me, but like I think that depending on what's going on in my head, it's hard to figure out unless you like really know me. So I'll just put somewhat. I think that's probably the most accurate. Do you mind change? Do you mind? Oh, as in like, oh, do you mind this thing that I'm, would you mind? Okay, cool. Okay. You could have phrased that in a less confusing way. I didn't see who this is made by. Anyway, I think that this one is more my philosophy. Obviously, bad changes I care about if it's a bad change, but when we're talking about the concept in general, I mean, it's kind of one of the coolest things about life and time and everything is that the things that are happening today may not be the same things that are happening tomorrow, and that could mean bad things, but it could also mean really, really good things. Growing and learning and getting better and all that stuff. That's the good shit. That's what makes life worth living, is things adapting over time. It's beautiful. You're in a situation where you and your friend are I'm danger. We're in danger. Your friend trips. What do? I keep running and leave them behind. I help my friend up and try to get us both to safety. I help my friend up and then sacrifice myself for them. Okay, well that's not... I try to distract the danger long enough for my friend to get up. I try to attack the danger with whatever I have. I give up properly. I am the danger. That's so stupid. Oh, I would help my friend. I would help my friend. Obviously, there's the altruistic, like, I care about my friend aspect in there. But, like, what the fuck are you gonna get out of life if the only reason that you survive in a horrific situation is by letting something, like, eat your friend when you could potentially do something? You would carry that forever unless you were not really friends, in which case... says a lot more about you than it does your friend, just saying. Excuse the on-the-node question, but what would you rather be? A silly little clown, an anthropomorphic animal, a doll, a piece of ribbon, a collection of shapes and patterns, a freaky creature, a chess piece, a bubble? I'm assuming this is referring to Caine as a freaky creature, and I really like the wording. I'm gonna put a freaky creature just because the wording is really funny. I have a sparkling watermelon Celsius for anybody interested. Back to unnecessarily deep questions. Aha, yes, very silly and fun. So, do you have trauma? Yes, I've healed from it. Yes, I'm still processing it. I don't want to answer. Why the fuck are you asking me this? I don't think so, or I don't remember. No. I'm still processing it. Yeah, recently I actually, like, remembered something that happened to me, that I did not remember happening to me until, like... suddenly it kind of got dredged up with some other, like, family drama. And it kind of, like, ruined... It was right before the holidays, too, so... And then I had to go see that person. It was a lot. It was a lot for me. Well, that was dark. Anyway, tonal whiplash on a scale of 1 to 10, how silly are you? I would put myself at a 9 to 10. I'm a pretty silly person. I stare at you. My pupils are wide and don't leave you. Your reaction. Quit staring at me with them big old eyes. What's your problem? Why the fuck are you staring at me like that? Did I do something wrong? Stop staring at me, please. I'm very uncomfortable. I stare back at you. Okay, well, assuming I have no idea how you are, who you are, I'm very uncomfortable. I am kind of that person who kind of zones out and just stares at things sometimes. And if we were having a conversation and then I zone out. Sometimes I zone out like staring at people. Let's say you have a goal. How determined are you to get that goal done? I'm super determined and I'll work really hard on it. I'm about average. I'm determined but not an overachiever. Moderately, I get demotivated. Sometimes I really am. What is the goal? I sort of drift through life aimlessly. I would say I'm super determined and I'll work really hard on it. I am the type of person though that I get so motivated to do so many things all at the same time that I end up like constantly overwhelming myself. I've been trying to be better about that, which has unfortunately meant that there's some things that I wanted to have closer to being done right now that are not close to being done right now. I'm still working on Freak Show, I swear. With which Sanrio character do you resonate the most with? Kuromi. I don't actually know if I resonate the most with Kuromi, but I do like Kuromi the best because, like, icon. Do you get bored easily? Yes. What Gorillaz song is the most important to you out of personal favorites? I think I'm gonna have to go with Feel Good Inc. if we're gonna ask the question of, like, most important, because I think Feel Good Inc. might have genuinely been the first Gorillaz song that I had ever heard. I picked that one. Favorite 100 Gex song? I'm gonna be honest, the only 100 Gex song that I know is Stupid Horse. I'm gonna have to say I don't like them or any of these songs. Hot Topic or Claire's? Okay, I'm gonna say Hot Topic. I've never gone into Claire's for more than once, I think. And they do have some cool stuff in Claire's. It's just that, like, a lot of it is obviously very, like, dainty, girly, cutesy, and I'm trying... It's crazy that, like, now that I have, like, come out as non-binary and I've really, like, fully accepted that into my life, I am much more willing to engage with, like, feminine stuff again. I am a big, chunky jewelry person all day long. That's my vibe. And also Hot Topic just has, like, funny shit in there sometimes. It's 2010's Tumblr time, your alignment on the cinnamon roll scale. I mean, I think recently my persona does look a lot more like kind of a intimidating figure. But I'm not a murderer type. I mean, I probably could kill you, but I wouldn't want to. You know? And at the end of the day, I have a policy of non-violence in general. I think that that might be the answer. I don't fucking know, man. Favorite emoticon. I do really like this type of smiley face though, with the fucking bracket. I still use the smiley face sometimes. Are you gay? Very gay. So do you even like circuses? Obviously I love Amazing Digital Circus, and I love but it's not as much of a circus in the traditional sense. I'm literally writing a comic about a circus, so there is that, of course. But yeah, what a circus represents, what a circus has been able to do historically, what a circus can be, I think I love it for that. Which horror entity do you identify more with? The Gremlins, the Killer Clowns, Freddy Krueger, Chucky, Michael Myers, Jigsaw, Freddy Fazbear, Ghostface? Oh, you know I am just like Freddy Fazbear. Oh, horror. Final question, yippee to yippee or not yippee? I'd say yippee. Final question, because this quiz blew up. There's more. There's clearly more. Final question, because this quiz blew up. I may update this as a series updates for accuracy. Anyway, I'm Ballpit Cryptid on Twitter. Okay, well, shout out to Ballpit Cryptid on Twitter. Bonus round. Due to popular demand, I have added bubble and a few final questions for better accuracy. Firstly, are you afraid of death? I fear death in the way that any human would fear death, in that, you know, I don't want to die, and I would rather to prolong the waiting period before the point where I am to perish from this earth as long as possible. This is gonna sound so freaking like nerdy and lame, but legitimately, after I finished playing Outer Wilds for the first time, I kind of completely rethought my like how I think about, you know, existentialism and my place in the universe and all this shit. You know, like if a meteor comes down and strikes us all down, I could not have prevented that. The only thing that I ultimately have control over when it comes to, you know, my end date is whether or not I have lived a life that is valuable and meaningful in that time. And I don't know when, you know, the guy's coming to punch my ticket, so all I can do is live my best life, and what I do now can have impacts long after my death. It's more of a calm acceptance of that fact that we will all die one day. And while I don't want it to happen right now, I don't fear it. The only thing that I have to fear is whether or not my mark will be worthwhile. Favorite suit of cards? This is so weird. I actually think that I have an answer and it's spades. I don't know why I was drawn to that immediately, but I've always liked the shape of the spades. Your alignment? I would say that I'm probably, like, chaotic good. How do you perceive yourself? I'm odd, but I think I'm a fun type of odd. I'm a caring person. I look out for myself and others. I'm nice, but very sensitive, and I can become defensive. I try to remain calm, but I'm incredibly stressed and anxious all the time. I'm really quiet and subdued, maybe a bit of a dickwad at times. I'm a massive asshole, but it's for the bit. It's for the funny. I am very distant and zoned out. Not many thoughts enter my head. I'm a devious and dubious creature sent to this realm to either fight God or wed him. I think I'm odd, but I think I'm a fun type of odd. Before I leave, what's the worst thing I could have put in your pocket? A grenade. That's actually a really good answer. A ransom note for someone you don't quite remember, but they are vaguely familiar to you. That would absolutely fuck me up. I think that would be the worst thing, because then I'm like, someone's life is on the line, and I don't really know enough about them to really help in this situation, but I have to do fucking something. Like, that is a nightmare scenario, so I'll put that one. Okay, let's see. Oh, no! I don't know who I was expecting. I don't think I had any expectations, but I feel like, alright, is there a description? Nope, okay. Oh, no. That was a really long one. So fun fact, I've been playing a lot of Disco Elysium again lately. I have no fucking idea how I'm going to draw this, but you'll see how I make this work. Pick a non-Harry character. Well. Yeah, I gotta go with Kim. Kim, I love him. Pick a vice you indulge in: LSD, drinking in the bathtub while listening to jazz, focusing on other people's problems instead of my own. Okay, maybe. I would say getting lost in a project for an entire weekend. I think focusing on other people's problems instead of my own and overthinking kind of go hand in hand. I do both of those things. The problem is that I don't consider that necessarily a vice, because it's usually the thing that I am trying to, like, not do. Like, I don't think that a vice qualifies as that if it's one of the things that you're trying to, like, ignore or prevent yourself from doing by doing the vice. I don't know if I'm making any sense. But yeah, I'm definitely the type of person where I get lost in a project for an entire weekend. There are times where I'm, like, doing something, and then I look at the clock, and I'm like, I've been sitting here drawing nonstop for, like, 5 hours. I have not eaten. I have not, like, it's bad. But my brain feels so good. What kind of cop were you? Okay, bad relationship with Kim Cop. No, never. Best friends with Kim Cop. Yeah, that's my cop type. Best friends with Kim Cop type. Capo type. Cop. Okay, pick a hobby: working, drinking, or drugs. Contact sports, meditation, going on logs, reassuring your friends, reading, exercise, learning, TikTok dances, texting, writing, playing an instrument. I'll go with texting the group chat. I think that just because that covers like being with my friends and talking to them, I think is I spend a lot of time doing that, but I also don't consider that a hobby. I do like going on walks and I do like taking pictures. I really want to get into hiking because I love being out in the wilderness. It gives me so many cool freaking ideas for stuff all the time. What's your ideal morning beverage? Black coffee, energy. Currently drinking one. I noticed that there's no just water option here. That's interesting. What is a character trait you share with Lieutenant W. Freighter Harrier Dubois? A yearning to wander. Yelling at racists. Desire to understand the world on a much deeper level despite everyone else's resistance. His need to open every locked container. The way he cries openly every time something upsetting happens. Admiration for Kim. Yeah. Pick a dad rock musician. Bob Dylan, David Bowie, Fleetwood Mac, Talking Heads. I'm gonna have to go with David Bowie. Oh yeah, I'm Volition. I have no idea how I'm gonna draw this. You are a brick wall of self-control. You go out with your friends, order one drink, and then drink it and go home at 9:30. You keep snacks in your car. You have a 10-year plan. You walk your dog twice a day. You have a fiddly fig. Alright, which Jujutsu Kaisen character are you? Okay. Wait, I can get Sakuna. I hope I don't get Sakuna. Okay, do you like kids? Oh, yes. Yes, I would love to have some of my own. Favorite color? Blue is my favorite color. Thoughts on God? It's on site. These fists rated E for everyone. I'm gonna put God as chill, I guess, because that is the closest to like what my actual thoughts are. I would define myself as agnostic. I grew up Catholic. I went to Catholic schools. That no doubt completely ruined any chance that I would ever have in believing in the faith that they were trying to instill in me. Good and morally righteous. I think that environment actually, disillusions people with religion. Like, I think that there are only two outcomes, and that is going to be completely brainwashing people or disillusioning people, and neither of those, I think, forms a healthy relationship with religion, and so I think that maybe we just shouldn't do that, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, I do believe that there is probably something more to this world. I'm okay not knowing for sure and not having a complete understanding, because what I can for sure say, the best thing that we can do is to take care of ourselves and our fellow humans and the earth. I don't need to know if God exists, or know if Jesus was really the son of God, or know if Muhammad was really a prophet, or know if any of the other, ideas that are out there are for sure true, to commit myself to that, Sorry, I just keep seeing Megami. I love him. Okay, choose one. If you choose infinite food, I'm gonna cry. Being rich, being my ideal body and looks, having a power like flying or telekinesis, immortality. That would suck. Infinite food. Why do I have to choose? Fuck you, I'm getting all of these. None of these appeal to me. I mean, being rich kind of solves all of my problems ever. And I know that everybody always says, like, money can't buy you happiness. Well, you know what it can buy me? It can buy me all the Lego sets that I want. That's fucking expensive. Have you seen how expensive those fucking pieces of plastic are? But on a more real note, I think that if I were to have money, not only would I be able to better take care of myself and the people that are around me, I will be able to actually make more of a tangible difference in the world than I am currently. Part of the reason that I am excited that I'm gaining more traction is literally just because I'm like looking ahead to the possibilities of like doing fundraisers and charity things, because I want to get involved with that. Let's be real. Let's be very fucking honest. I would enjoy the luxuries that come with wealth period, end of story. I don't think that anybody gains anything from you, like, martyring yourself and experiencing zero joy in your life just because other people might be suffering. I think it's actually totally fucking morally sound to buy yourself a hot tub if you're capable of it. It's just that if you're only ever buying yourself a hot tub and then filling it with your money and sitting on top of all of that money and doing absolutely jack all, that's the difference. We're putting away the soapbox. Which lyrics do you relate from Mitski's American Girl? I'm gonna put none of these except I'm nice about it, because I'm like, you're not stupid if you relate to this. I just have not heard this song. I've been trying to get more into Mitski because I like a lot of her music. I don't know enough about, I don't know this particular song, so I wouldn't say that I relate to any of the lyrics. Which movie did you form an unhealthy attachment to and like way too much? The Matrix, Wreck-It Ralph. Honestly, I fucking loved Wreck-It Ralph growing up, and I still love Wreck-It Ralph now. I think that it really holds up. It is genuinely, like, a really good piece of fiction, and I think it handles the whole, like, misunderstood antagonist thing so well, and it also has, like, a really good, like, traditional villain, and a twist villain, and it also is such a beautiful love letter to, like, gaming culture. Which lyrics do you relate from Mitski? Why don't you stop? I don't know these songs! I'll put that one. That one kind of spoke to me a little bit. I don't know that song still. Where would you like to be? In a mall, laughing with my friends, alone in a bookshop, at home watching something while listening to the rain. Ooh, that's so nice. At the movie with friends. Okay, I have to pick that one. I have one particular friend, who we've actually gone to see a couple things, like, more recently. And I've learned very quickly that he's really, really fun to go and see movies with. Like, we did when, like, way back in fucking high school and shit. But obviously it's been a little while since then. I can't explain what happened fully, because it would be kind of spoilers, but we went to see the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie, FNAF 2 movie. There was a part where, there's a character in the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie that's, he's played by the character or by the actor that does, Newman on Seinfeld, and in one particular scene, it's, like, really creepy and kind of haunting, and then my friend just leans over and he starts kind of humming, like, the Seinfeld theme, and I was... God, I love seeing movies with my friends. I really do. Oh, okay, I actually fucking know this song. Okay, because it's my problem if I want to pack up and run away. High achiever, don't you see? Okay, people like to tell you that what you're gonna be, it's not my problem if you don't see what I see. Honestly, I think that, like, that is a great line to just kind of, like, that line hits for me. Thoughts on career? I would like to do something I like even with low pay. I mean, obviously money is very, very important. Ideally, I would get to do something that I really like. You know, based on, you know, everything about the show, I think that this is not, I don't think this goes well. You're very easygoing and usually a bright person. You're that friend that makes the group chat lively. This is a good thing, but it also means when you leave, things are awkward. Well, I hope that's not true. You end up taking on more than you can handle, though, because you believe helping others is the only way you can be seen. Uh-oh. Although you come off as happy, you think you are never enough. You have a very hard time saying no. Perhaps your parents never paid much attention to you, and now you're a people pleaser. Okay, which Spy X Family character are you the most like? I would like to know. What's my love language? Quality time, baby. Choose an angsty lyric from the neighborhood that I associate with the series. You're a doll, you're flawless, but I just can't wait for love to destroy us. I never knew somebody like you, somebody falling just as hard as I'd rather lose somebody than use somebody. I hope to everybody that knows these songs and they hear me reciting these with no meter, I hope that you suffer. I'm gonna pick this one for now because this is the only song that I know. How are you with intimacy? I love showing people how much I love them. Period. End of story. Are you a reader? I don't, I love reading. It's just that usually, I think I might have some kind of like form of dyslexia or something because I'm bad at reading. That's such a weird thing to say. I might even put yes, but only manga, but just as a stand-in for comics. I still do read a lot of comics. Some of it is manga. How many hours of sleep do you get per night? I aim for the full 7 to 8, but 2 to 6 is probably more accurate for my range. What are your thoughts on marriage? I want to marry for love. You know, I do want to get married one day. It is something that is important to me. But I'm not in a rush. It's the same thing like with kids. I want to have kids. I specifically want to adopt kids. Because I think that the joy that I would get from raising a child has nothing to do with whether or not they are my flesh and blood spawn. The whole pregnancy aspect is fucking terrifying and also kind of disgusting to me. Having a little parasitic life form somewhere floating around in my anatomy that will leech resources from my body and potentially kill me. Like, I'm sorry, that is not a fun thing for me. I would loathe that experience. I would loathe that child. And that is not a mindset that I need to be going into, like, you know. So that's also, I guess, part of the reason why I'm, like, not in a rush, because I'm, like, I'm still quite young, and if I'm gonna adopt a kid anyway, it's better to be, like, more established and everything. Anyway, do you think Lloyd and you are genuinely in love at this point in the series up to chapter 48? Okay, I am not reading it. I am watching it. And I think that they are genuinely in love based on the anime so far. So I'm gonna say yes. Choose one. Angst, fluff. Okay. If you had asked me this question 5 years ago even, I probably would have said angst. I don't mind a good angst. I write a lot of angst, but I have, as I have matured, kind of gone more in the direction of like, I like there to be fluff. I would prefer a mixture of fluff and angst, you know, because I think that the contrast makes both of them more interesting and more enjoyable. Even playing Disco Elysium and everything, the parts that I have the most fucking fun with are the parts where, you know, it's lines like, the lieutenant smiles in a way that only you can see. Like, that line is so fucking cute. Also, I had a realization the other day, if I can talk about Disco Elysium for a moment. Again, even though we're off of that quiz and we're supposed to be talking about Spike's family. But, I had this realization where Kuno was like saying some crazy shit and I'm sitting there and I'm laughing and I'm giggling and I'm like, he is so adorable. And then I was like, wow, maturing is realizing that Kuno isn't like, he's just a kid, man. Like, and you know what? He's funny, alright? He's a funny little kid. And I mean, he's annoying, yeah, but like, what fucking 10-year-old isn't a little annoying? I mean, what's your biggest insecurity? Looks, level of intelligence, lack of social skills, uselessness, disagreeable personality. I'm not insecure. Well, I am insecure. I'm going to put uselessness, not because I think that I'm useless, but I am constantly worried that I think it loops back to what I was saying about, like, I think that there is something to be said about, like, my priority in life is to make sure that I leave a positive, tangible impact behind in some way. So I want to be useful, right? But sometimes I worry that I'm not. I also, I think, kind of got conditioned, unfortunately, from some experiences early on in my life that maybe I don't have value if I'm not providing something to some other person. And that, I think, kind of screwed me up forever. So, favorite unhealthy coping mechanism? I would actually say that none of these are that accurate. I will say avoidance is probably the most accurate, because if there's something that's like really, really bothering me and I do not have the capacity to actually handle it at the time, I will just distract myself with every possible thing. Choose a painting. Some of these titles may not be correct. Lady with the Flowers, The Storm, Cafe Kiss Embrace, The Accolade, Tamara and the Demon, John, Beauty, Murder Me for Nichols. Lover. That doesn't look like a lover. Boy and Dog! I'm picking that one because it's got a dog in it. I'm picking the one with a dog. Are you... well, okay, in my ideal scenario, I am a little spoon. I want to be a little spoon, and then on the other side of me, I have a body pillow to hold on to. Because I'm a side sleeper, and I have wide hips, so I need to have something between my knees. Otherwise, I have hip pain. Do you see yourself as the practical type? I'm practical, but I entertain outlandish ideas sometimes to fuel my thought process. I will put this one because it's like, I try to be very practical when I'm thinking about like the world at large. When I'm like discussing actual serious things, I can be very practical and very logical. But in my day-to-day life, I don't care about what's practical. I care about what's like fun and interesting. And sometimes what is fun and interesting is my Legos. Have you cried recently? Yes. It was actually on purpose. That's such a weird sentence. Okay. I'm playing D&D, right? And my character is kind of going through it right now. And so I was trying to kind of, you know, trying to get back into it, trying to get into character. So I was just spending some time thinking about the worst possible things that could happen to me so that I can prepare for like what that would feel like and how to react to that in character, because I'm weird. What was the first thing you noticed when introduced to someone? Hygiene, manner of speaking, beauty, or lack thereof, a single most prominent feature. I wouldn't say that any of these are like quite accurate. I'm not like looking at someone and paying attention to all of that superficial stuff. I try not to. Like, obviously you do notice these things, but I just don't like internalize it unless they have like a really cool vibe, and then I'm like, hell yeah, they've got a cool vibe. But I think usually what I'm trying to actually pay attention to is just the way that they're talking. There is a lot of emotional information that you can get out of the way that somebody talks. Like, if they are nervous meeting you, I know I should be adapting to that a little bit. Alcohol of choice. Is there margarita? No. I've had a couple White Claws in my day, and they're good. I love just a simple, like, vodka seltzer. I think it's fun. It's fruity. It's a good time. Do you fantasize about falling in love, being loved? I fantasize about being loved. I think the falling in love kind of idea is a little bit overly romantic, which is a really weird thing to say now that I've said that out loud. But my meaning is like, a lot of people hype up that moment where you meet the person of your dreams, and it's so much pressure is put on that, and that's not even the part that fucking matters. It's everything that comes after that moment that matters so much more. And when I'm looking forward to my future and thinking about where I want to be, it doesn't involve like that perfect meet cute moment. It's specifically like, there is a person there with me, and they are there to support me and engage with the things that I love with me, and raise a family with me, and fight for the right things with me. And that's the good shit. That's the good shit. A behavior you hate seeing others do. Biting their nails, I do it. Eating their snot. Breathing loudly, interrupting others' conversations, cracking their joints. Okay. I fucking hate hearing people crack their joints, which is bad because I'm a person. I'm gonna do it now. I crack my neck all the time and it freaks people out. But like, the thing is, I hate how it sounds, how it looks, every aspect of it freaks me out. And I also like have misophonia, I think, and I think that people cracking their joints can sometimes trigger it. I hate that. I hate it. Oh no. Oh fuck. I like Frankie as a character, but this is not good. This is not good. Hopeless romantic is your middle name, and being absolutely lost in life is your forte. You're smart but clumsy. So many people don't see you as intelligent at first, but don't worry. One day you'll prove your worth and they'll be awed. Alright, moving on. Which Kingdom Hearts character are you? Oh, apparently results of some spoilers, and it's sort of long, and there's 28 possible results. How long is this? It's 16 questions! That's not kind of long! Okay, whatever. What's your favorite time of day? Sunset is so beautiful. I love taking my dogs out, like, right after dinner when the sun is still setting, and it's so pretty in my neighborhood. Sorry for bragging, but, like, it genuinely is. Obligatory choose some lyrics that speak to you. Just do it. You can't escape. I, for one, believe that we must die before we ever know what it means to be alive. Oh, it's gonna help me die. Oh, it's gonna kill me. That's a bar, I guess. You tell me that you love me. You tell me that you care. But when I need you, baby, you're never there. You tried to break my heart. Oh, that breaks my heart that you thought you ever had it. No, you ain't from the start. I think I know what that song is. That lyric sounds familiar, but I can't sing it because I can't. Okay. I could go off the deep end. I could kill all my best friends. I could follow those stylish trends. And God knows I could make amends. But I've got an angry heart. Filled with cancers and poppy ta-ha-ha hearts. Why is that where you cut it? But yeah, so that is, Brave is a Noun, I want to say, by AJJ. Now, the big bad dog is eating my food. He's big and strong, and I am a fool. I'm skinny and tired. You can see my bones, but I'd rather be hungry than be alone. Damn, that's sad. I'm gonna click on that one for now. I love that I'm like, wow, that's sad. No, I relate to that one. Pick what you're most scared of. Being someone else, losing someone, being abandoned, being useless, being a bad person, being alone, having my love be unreciprocated, losing myself. I'll put being abandoned. I think that that's more of my worry. Honestly, I think I do have some abandonment issues. How difficult it is for you to be alone? I'm gonna put it's hard, but sometimes I can deal. I think that, like, I do need time to be alone, but there are times when I do want to be around people, it's really, really hard for me to not be able to be around people. I'm that kind of person where it's like, and this is something, see, my friends watch these videos sometimes. Don't read into this shit. Don't listen to me. You stop this. But what I am a kind of person where, like, if I'm like, hey, do you want to hang out? And the answer was no, I will accept that no. But I'm not going to be happy about it. Like, it is hard for me to hear that no. Or if it's more of, like, a situation of, like, you know, we were gonna do something and then they have to change it last minute. Or even if I have to change this last minute, that fucking sucks. I hate that so much. It's really hard. But the thing is that, and this is the part that, like, if you are somebody that knows me personally, listen to this fucking part. It's my job to deal with that feeling. It is not your job. And it is not your bad if something comes up. But I can deal with it, and I do deal with it, and I figure it out. Because I'm a big boy. It's okay. Pick your preference. Cold, hot, lukewarm. Well, for what? For what? In what context? I'm gonna go with lukewarm because in most situations, it's fine, I guess. What do you want someone to remember you for? Exactly what I am to them, for who I am, what I do for them, how they make me feel, who they want me to be. I would say for who I am, I guess. Pick one. Fighting, completing, protecting, destroying, building, laughing, chasing, becoming, longing, forgetting, losing, believing, crying, carrying, fixing, missing. I would say building. Legos. Stop. Something bad you think. Oh, you're just asking me which of these is, like, my fucking intrusive thoughts? Okay, I don't mean anything to anyone. Nobody knows how I feel, and they wouldn't care if they did. Anything good I do is nulled by my past. I'll always end up alone. I will never really be myself. Okay, so let's be real here. I have the intrusive thought that I am, like, a worthless piece of shit and nobody actually loves me and nobody actually likes me. I know that that is not true. It's taken me a little bit too long to learn how to like hear that in the back of my head and go, shut your mouth, you whore. Which one of these are you? Jock, goth, prep, nerd, goth, jock, goth, nerd. I'm gonna put, okay, this is stupid. Like, these categories are like so, but if I had to put a pin on it, pick one, the sword, the shield, the staff. If I'm gonna pick one that I actually pick, I usually pick the sword, but I think philosophy-wise, I prefer the shield. Pick something stupid I have done / about me that is most relatable to you. Threw a large rock directly at my sister's head. Well, that's not very nice. Ate an entire container of the chocolate thing you add to milk and then threw it up because it was a lot of chocolate. Gross. Made an Ask blog as a kid and sent myself tons of anons and answered them to simulate being popular. That's kind of sad, but it's actually really cute. that's youth. The first time I attempted to drive, I practically crashed within 20 seconds of entering the driver's seat. So, story time. When I went to college, animal science is my degree, but the program was very ag focused. Like, we did a lot of agriculture stuff. One day, we were learning how to operate some farm machinery that would be typical on any operation. One such machine vehicle was a truck. I did not have my driver's license at the time, and my pregnant, heavily, visibly pregnant teacher was in the passenger seat. And I said immediately, I was like, hey, I don't know how to drive. And she's like, that's okay. We're just going to have you, like, back up the truck. Like, that's the only thing that you're trying to learn how to do is to back up the truck. Like, it's hard to do that with a hitch, and we just want to give you, like, that little basic experience of how to do that. So I was like, okay. She's like, all right, now put your foot on the brake first so that you can change gears. And I immediately hit the gas and the car lurched forward and I freaked the fuck out and I look over and her eyes were like popping out of her head. I was so embarrassed and she laughed at me. Choose a Naruto quote I randomly found. We do not know what kind of people we truly are until the moment before our deaths. As death comes to embrace you, you will realize what you are. Oh, damn. That's a bar. The fate of those who seek revenge is grim. It's tragic. You will end up suffering and hurting yourself even more, even if you do succeed in getting revenge. The only thing that remains is emptiness. It's a Nightblade-ass quote. Well, it's a quote for Nightblade. You don't know who Nightblade is. You will. Probably. Eventually. Maybe. I like this one. There probably isn't any meaning in life. Perhaps you can find something interesting to do while you are alive. Like how you found that flower. Like how I found you. I think that's a beautiful way of looking at things. Because a lot of, I think a lot of people, myself included, I think I used to, wonder what is the meaning of life and why are we all here? Why am I here specifically? What are we doing? And I'm like, the older that I've gotten, I'm like, I think that the answer matters a lot less than like whether or not you're living a valuable life right now. Favorite color? Blue. Your favorite magic spell? Oh, cure. That's one of the only spells that I consistently use throughout Kingdom Hearts because I am a hit things with big stick until they fall down kind of player of games usually. So last and easy one, the light or the darkness. I picked the light. I think the light will defeat the darkness. What? Excuse me? What does this mean? They're a bit different between being a nobody and somebody, despite the fact I am grouping them, so this may be inaccurate, but you get it. Orphan scientist with abandonment issues. Great, thank you! I want to look at the other options. Okay, Balder? Who the fuck is that? Vor? Marluxia, Zigbar, oh daddy, Zemnis, daddy! This is the last one that I'm gonna take. Which character from Smiling Friends are you? Okay. This is an insane question to start with. What kind of drugs do you like to do? Just a little drink. This is an insane question to start with. What's your Guys, I think that I've stumbled upon a quiz with a very specific kind of humor type. I'm going to cut out every single thing that I've said to explain my reasoning for what I'm doing here. What kind of video games do you play? Oh, okay, this is a much more normal. Okay, none of these except for Minecraft. I do play Minecraft. I love Minecraft. What do you want in life? A sweet family that I can provide for, a successful business, the partner of my dreams, lots of monies. I don't know why I made it plural. A place where I can live unbothered or to be happy. I think a sweet family that I can provide for. I think that's kind of my... Yeah. How are you at work? Slacker. I do everything. I'm the boss. I do my best. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to make money. I do my best. I think that's a good assessment of what I try to do. What is the main problem people have? They get caught in loops of dopamine rushes. They are too negative. They are too messy and disorganized. I haven't really thought about it. They are all selfish, mean, and greedy. I think that a lot of people are too negative. I would say that, like, nowadays, genuinely, I think people are too fucking doomer about everything. Shit is really scary right now in a lot of places, in a lot of ways. They're disappointing, they're painful, they're scary, they're bad. People are surrendering to that and, like, going, oh, well, shit just sucks and it's never gonna get any better. And it's like, well, not if you give up, you idiot. That is exactly what the people hurting you and scaring you and pushing you down want you to believe, is that things will never get fucking better. We're too negative about our situation. We're too negative about each other. We're too negative about ourselves. We need to just be, like, a little bit more fucking positive. You know, I try to be positive. I like things. There are things in this world that are beautiful and wonderful, and we can enjoy them, and we can fight to protect those things from all of the shit. That's what life's about, baby. What is the main problem you have? I'm stuck where I am. I'm surrounded by people who suck. I don't care enough about what I do. I feel too much. There's no meaning for me. I can't find love. I don't have enough fun. Okay, you know what? To be fair, I haven't actively been searching for love, so I can't really put that. I'll put I feel too much. I'm a very emotional person. I think to a point where it kind of exhausts me. There are days sometimes where I'm like, I'm at the end of the day and I'm just, it's a void. There's nothing. I don't know if that's normal, but that's, yeah. What do you like to do for fun? Get stoned? No. Organize things? Hang out with my friends? Yes. Play video games? Yes. Make people smile? Go on adventures? I think that hanging out with friends is probably the most accurate. That's my ideal situation, is just being around people that I like to be around. Go figure. Do you have any kids? No, but I want them. I do. I really do want kids one day, but... Pick a Kanye song? I don't know any Kanye. I am not gonna bother looking up the fucking lyrics to every single one of these songs to make a decision, so I'm gonna go solely based off of the title. Everything I Am sounds kind of cool. Pick a treat. Cheese. I freaking love cheese. Thoughts on the frowning friends? Yeah, just another thing to deal with. We'll take care of them. It's fine. What's your favorite holiday? Halloween. I love Halloween. You're confronted in the forest by a tall, scary man. What do you do? Excuse me? I think trying to ignore him is the best, but I think that getting away from him is probably the best thing to do. What is the best way to make me smile? Oh my gosh, making other people smile, getting to relax, trying new things, a funny joke, seeing someone I love. I think that one's cute, and it's also true. What do you smell like? Weed, milk, Old Spice, maple syrup, cookies, sweat. I don't know that I smell like Old Spice specifically. I would actually say that usually I smell more like Irish Spring because I really like how that smells. And I usually use Irish Spring deodorant. I guess I do use a vanilla body spray a lot, so that kind of maybe smells like cookies, but whatever. I'm gonna stick with my... Oh my god! Yeah! You know, the funny thing is last night I finally I watched the new season of Smiling Friends in one go. And I found a great Pim shot to change my profile picture to, so I'm Pim. All right, so that was more uQuizzes. Doubles as a fun little, you get to learn more about me, and also a little art challenge. You will have, of course, seen whatever I ended up coming up with for each drawing. I hope that you liked them. And I hope that this was a satisfying enough video for today. I have a couple scripts that are quite close to being done. I just didn't want to be rushing them. Hopefully, next week, I will actually have one. I'm not taking a week gap. I'm gonna try to get it out by next week. I was also trying to make some new talk sprites and, like, finish them. I have, like, a bunch of ones that are just, like, at the line art stage. But if I'm gonna have, like, another, like, yappy video where I am actually just, like, talking for a long time, I obviously want to have more talk sprites. Thank you for sticking around. I hope this was fun, and I will see you next week, hopefully. Hopefully. Kiss, 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 kiss. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, bye. Bye, bye. I don't really have an outro, do I?